By popular demand, we're going to reopen our virtual PI Beast Camp. All things personal injury are included in this masterclass with replay capability. Now it's a top to bottom all-star lineup featuring Dan Murphy, the Biomechanics of Science, and how to stay out of court, avoid depositions, and not go to unnecessary trials. It's Claudia honored with pediatrics. We've got some at-home exercises people could do with a doctor of physical therapy, and we've got the biomechanics taught by Dee Harrison. Look, there's a lineup you'd have to take a look at to understand just how deep this content is, but it's immediately consumable, readily usable in your practice. Meaning things from the diagnosis codes, which I know aren't super sexy, but the truth is you need to get it right to dictate the care. When you do, we'll also point out what things you shouldn't do that will devalue the care. And perhaps most of all, and some of the most exciting stuff that chiropractors like, is the marketing. I'll teach you how to grow your PI marketing and how to get 100 cases passively referred to your practice every year. And look, if that's the goal for you and that sounds appealing, then you're the right audience for this. We have some docs that just do personal injury, only want to do that, and a lot of times they're leaning really heavily into the medical field. That's not what I teach. Stay a principled chiropractor, do it in a way that is your values and within your normal procedures, but you don't have to look over your shoulder. You can still sleep at night. So if this resonates with you, all the things you don't want to talk about with PI, we cover it so you're handled. All the things you need to know so you can sleep well at night while also having that growth mindset. Look, we button this thing down in multiple ways. It's super content rich, boatloads of notes, information, and things you need for everybody in the car, so they avoid the opioid epidemic. They avoid taking muscle relaxants, anti-inflammatories, and the highly addictive pain meds. Let's get you being the chiropractor to people that need it the most after a trauma, and we can do it in a way that, again, it's recorded, it's virtual. You don't need to fly and travel, and perhaps most of all, you can watch it multiple times. Hey, PI Beast Camp, we are reopening this by popular demand because docs are looking for it. Class is in session, but when we start it and we have the deadline for enrollment ending, we have to move docs through as a class. You might get left out. So please join us for the PI Beast Camp. It's a virtual, it's done online from the comfort of your home. Give me an idea of left, right when it would come to like ankle stuff. Where would you expect that to be?
You're gonna see the driver's gonna have a lot of right ankle, right hip because they're slamming on the brakes. So make sure you just look at those when you evaluate the patient and ask them, hey, anything going on with your ankle or your hip? Right. And sometimes their spine and their neck and their headache so bad, they don't even think about that. They're like, yeah, you're right. That is kind of bothering me.
Yeah. Let's hear from Jamie West.
Hey, it's Jamie West, and we have a kind of a problem that we need Glow After Dark to discuss that we could use guidance on.
And so that page there would then go into court.
So by doing that templating and basically the way you would do that motion study, it's a clear indication of a subluxation, which I think is super important for chiropractors to know, right? This is an objective way to show subluxations pre-care and then show a reduction in subluxations post-care.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the questions I always get asked is, from the time of the accident, how far out is kind of like the cutoff before a chiropractor should no longer take them as a personal injury and maybe just consider them as a cash patient?
Sure, great question, and this varies from attorney to attorney. For my office, we're looking at between 2 weeks as a soft deadline and probably 30 days as a pretty hard out.
We're gonna give you some options here, and this is a much refined list. You choose what you want. You might send them home to do some of these things, maybe do it in office. But to understand, if you were to bill 6 codes that were timed procedures, then they would have to be there for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I run a high volume practice, Ed runs a high volume practice. Pro athletes, children. And we do some PI. Now again, 100 passive PI plus what we generate, it's a healthy practice. But the way we're gonna teach you to build this, it's dialed in to where it's honest and you can sleep at night. Eric, how's everything?
You know, everything's great.
Good.
It's shocking to get a call from you. It's a nice surprise tonight. So.
Right, my pleasure, buddy. So tell me what I can do for you. What was the question? And I don't want to put words in your mouth.
How does from the attorney point of view, how should that be documented if we want to document one thing, but then we were saying something else in the records, and